The name be hood gon' live forever.
We don't believe in girl on girl, and no, he don't beat us.
Make sure you get the Unwritten Rules of Polygyny book volume 1 and book volume 2. And it's Biblical Polygyny is Sin at ProPolybook.com. Shalom.
Shalom.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 19. Husbands, love your wives, and be not bitter against them. Brothers, it is time that we say no to domestic violence, brothers. The time is now. Treat your wives right and love them, and don't be chaotic and bitter toward them. That means you shouldn't be cursing them out, calling them bitches and degrading them and being bitter and chaotic toward them. You're supposed to love your wives. Stop using the Bible to justify domestic violence. Say no to that. Finally, let's get another scripture. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, you husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Not domestic violence, but according to knowledge, teach them. It says giving honor, meaning respect unto the wife. But let's find out what else it says. Look at what it says about her. As unto the weaker vessel. Weaker vessel. But look at this though. And as being heirs, meaning inheritors, together of the grace of life. So you are supposed to not only dwell with them according to knowledge, you're supposed to give honor unto the wife because she is the weaker vessel. But look at the next part. It says that your prayers be not hindered. That your prayers be not hindered. You men of God out there, stop using the Bible to be chaotic and beating on your wives. Dwell with them according to knowledge. They are the weaker vessel. And when we do these things, brothers, we would inherit together the grace of life. And remember, it says that your prayers be not hindered. So if you don't want your prayers to be hindered before God, then this is what we must do. This is what we must do. Say no to domestic violence. Now, that being said, let us turn to the bloopers because my wives had me laughing. Listen to this, guys.
We don't believe in girl on girl, and no, he don't beat us.
Get the Unwritten Rules.
No, he don't beat us.
Get the Unwritten Rules.
Brothers, let us go ahead and end with a food for thought. Many of you have all of these 3 books that you see us holding, and you have not applied what you've read. What I will share with you, because I know many of you will see this. Many of you will see this just because you are the head of the household, the dominant one in the household, the one who is the ruler and the controller of your household. Don't mean that you have to be a tyrant. A tyrant that can't keep his hands to himself because he's upset with his wife or wives. Say no to domestic violence. Keep your hands to yourself. And if you have that much of an anger problem, and you doing this to your first wife, and you have some nerve to want to get a second wife, or maybe even a third wife and so forth, and you showing your wives or your potential wives or women or women my videos, make sure you tell them that domestic violence is not something that I support. which means you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. Keep your hands to yourself. Why would you be stupid and go and get a second wife knowing that you can't control your fists, knowing that you can't control your anger? Get it together, or the Lord may destroy you and they will be free to be somebody else's wife. Just a little food for thought. Take it for whatever it is worth. If you know anybody that wants to do polygyny and they are beating on their wives, threatening them, degrading them, send them the video. Send them the video because they need to hear this. And sisters, if you're going to do something like this and join a poly family, make sure you look for them red flags. Because if he beating on them, he'll be beating on you. He'll be beating on you next. It's men like that that give polygyny a bad name because they can't control their anger and their fist. Watch those red flags. Watch them. See, when men are doing polygyny, especially if he has 3 or more wives, you can only fake for so long. It'll show within that first year or two. You can't fake this. It will be exposed. Brothers, I'm not telling you to be flawless. You will make mistakes, including myself. But you have to correct those mistakes, and you have to keep your hands to yourself. For all you brothers out there that believe in the Bible, that want to do polygyny, but yet you just want to do polygyny for threesomes, to see girls kissing girls, girl watching girl, girl loving girl. Brothers, your household is going to fall. Your household is going to be destroyed. It's going to be chaotic. That's not polygyny. That's polyamory. That's polygamy, not biblical polygyny. In polygyny, the women are monogamous. They only deal with one partner. That's the man. They don't deal with each other. So if you want to do biblical polygyny and have your wives doing that, don't send them none of my videos. Don't tell them about me, because we don't teach that. I don't teach that. I don't encourage that. Don't call it biblical polygyny. Call it something else. I don't care what you call it. Just don't call it polygyny. Just want to give you all a little wisdom for the brothers. And only the brothers. A self-check is better than a paycheck. Let's check ourselves. Let's get ourselves together. And let us strive to be better leaders. And your wife or your wives, if you have a righteous one, she'll fall right in line. She'll make mistakes. She'll mess up. But where is her heart? Encourage them. Correct them. Even rebuke them when they're wrong. But keep your hands to yourself. Last but not least, if you want polygyny, don't rob the woman of her choice. Be upfront and honest from the very start. Or bare minimum, at least before it go anywhere. But I recommend the start. These few things that you've just heard, you've already learned in my books. Well, if you have read them, if you've read them. Nonetheless, another one will be released at propolybook.com. Say no to domestic violence. Shalom.